All right, greetings, nerds. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm super embarrassed about my voice. Um, this is probably going to end up like junk, and then who even knows if I'm going to upload it. But I don't know. This is what a regular Saturday morning looks like at the shop with my homeboy Chris. So I'm going to push play on the video in just a little bit, right? Okay, so what we have here is Chris driving the sim at his shop, Independent Motor Cars. You can see his logo and company name down at the bottom of the video. How do you recognize Chris versus Satakal? Chris is wearing black shorts and a visor. Satakal's wearing khaki shorts and no visor. So what we're working on over here is we're working on Sonoma. We're doing Sonoma in our kind of cobbled together spec Boxster. In the spec Boxster, we've got about, I don't know, like 200 horsepower, and it's supposed to simulate the grip of the race tires. We don't have the problem where we have to manage the tires, so we can go 10/10ths every single lap. The sim rig is obviously a triple monitor, and then each one of those monitors is curved. We got a sound bar in the back, and then we're working the three pedals and the Fanatec H pattern shifter. It also has a Fanatec DD2. And today it felt like we had the force feedback turned up a little bit more than I'm accustomed to. What you're going to see is between sessions, the screen will go kind of black, and not black, but like obviously, not driving. And then what we tend to do is we tend to bring up the speed versus distance plot. And what we're doing is where speed versus distance is our data analysis. So we're looking at the data analysis and seeing, oh, you're faster in this section. Yeah, so here you can see me pointing out like turn 4 and turn 6. Right, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to like see where one of the guys is faster, one of the guys is slower. We talk about different plans, and then we just try and make each other faster. It's almost like we're crowdsourcing the solution to the problem, right? So two guys are here trying to figure out how to be faster in the exact same car. And then when something works, that thing that works gets adopted and used by both of us. So why we're doing Sonoma is the Porsche Owners Club is maybe going to do a race there. Not maybe. They will be doing a race there in about a month, or July or something like that. Chris recently built a spec Boxster for Porsche Owners Club sprint races. And so he's on the fence. He's like 50-50 of whether or not he's going to end up driving or racing up there. And then Chris has been really excellent about spending a lot of time on the sim before he goes to a racetrack. So he's never physically been to Sonoma, but what he's doing is he's trying to drive hundreds and hundreds of laps before he even gets in the same zip code as Sonoma, so that once he gets on the track, he already knows the turns. He has a good vibe for what the right speeds are, where to pass dudes, where to make time, where he doesn't want to drop a wheel, or where it's okay to drop a wheel. The idea is to get practice virtually. Right, so being on a racetrack is super expensive, but, this is just two nerds dicking around on some Monday. All right, so what else about Sonoma? Oh, okay. So Chris's best lap time that he's been able to squeeze out is like a 51 51.5. Is that right? 51.5? 51? Maybe it's a 52. Yeah, minute 52.5. And then The best lap as of a few days ago was Sagar's lap of a 51.8. On Friday, I was able to manage a 51.3, and then today I just kind of blew that out of the water in that I drove a 50.8. So I'm a full second faster than Sagar. And I think the way that the pecking order goes is Sagar is like the sim genius. He's really good at driving the sim, kind of doing things that are impossible and figuring shit out. And then what I'm getting better at is I'm getting better at copying. And when I copy what he does, then I'm able to do what he does. So yeah, Chris is over here working on a 52.5. We're finding time, or specifically Chris found a lot of time at turn 2. He's turn 2, it's really important to be pointed in the right direction. Earlier in the day, he was kind of pointed in a little bit towards the apex. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to get him pointed out a little bit more so that he can take a later apex and carry more speed. At the end of the day, we assessed that he's losing a lot of time at turn in between 3A and 3B. So he's going in early to 3A, and the speed that he's rolling between 3A and 3B is costing him a lot of mile an hour. Let's see, he's doing great at 4, great at 5. We figured out a new approach to 6. He's doing that really good. I think his turn 7 and my turn 7 are kind of equal. Although I feel like I have 2 ways to do it and Chris has 1 way to do it. Chris showed me a really cool way through 8B, and it's a no drama way through 8B. Really stoked about that. Right, and so the point of getting a really good 8B is so that you can just be wide open through 9. Right, so through 8B, as you track out, you're at about 100 miles an hour, and then you just want to hold that wide open throttle getting all the way to 10. And then 10, don't use the brake pedal to slow the car down, use the front tires to slow the car down, and hopefully you can get a min speed of 101 through there, and then just blast into the turnaround, the hairpin with all the tires and whatnot at turn 11. Chris still needs to work on how to plan that really simple, not simple, deceivingly simple, kind of like an autocross turn, like a turnaround. How do you plan the turnaround better? So what we're working on with Chris at turn 11 is tire noise. It's okay to have tire noise for the first half of the turn, but at the part where you've decided that you want to start going fast, no tire noise. And then also having your min speed at the first half of the turn, and then no tire noise at the second half of the turn, right? Because tire noise is basically the sound of slowing down, the sound of brake. What else is going on? I don't know. I'm really happy with the lap time that I was able to do. It's incredibly helpful having a buddy look over my shoulder, and it's the kind of thing that we can't do in a car, because in a real-life car, there's so much noise. So motor noise, tire noise. It's also the kind of thing of like, if Chris and I are both in cars at the racetrack, he wants to be in his car, I want to be in my car. But this allows us to kind of like both figure out how to go faster during a lap. What else? Okay, so we're playing the game Assetto Corsa, Spec Boxster, Sonoma. This is Sonoma full. And I think this is the layout. It's almost the layout that the NASCAR guys do. It's definitely not the layout that Rob drove earlier this year with SRO. This layout has the real 8 and 9 instead of like that straightaway down the back half of the course with that really slow chicane. We're finding that min speed at this track is, I think, at turn Yes, at the hairpin at turn 11. And it seems like when we do it right, we can have a min speed of 40 miles an hour, that's second gear. And then V max, I think V max is getting through one and then into two. Although, like, through one, I'm way too busy to look at the speedo. But going through turn two, the min speed that we're aiming for there is 60, 61 mile an hour. But I think what we're really doing is we're doing 59 miles an hour. Um, let's see. What you see here is like Chris and I are kind of talking about like what visual markers to have at turn one. And now I think we're talking about data, like what mile an hour. We're basically like working on our plan. We build a plan, we try and execute it, and then we iterate it. Like we try new stuff, and it's like, hey, can this work? I don't know, but let's try. Okay. And so I think what this wound up being was that ended up being almost like 2 hours of sim time for Chris on this bank holiday Monday, but essentially a Saturday morning, although it's a Monday morning. What else do I have to say or think about? Um, Nothing. That's not true. Um, we are getting so much faster as drivers because we're doing this simulation stuff. Um, the sim is so good. Like one of the things that was really excellent about autocross was flexing creativity. Um, and then that's exactly what this does. Is this is kind of like a really good substitute for flexing our creativity. We're able to think about problems. We're able to solve them. And then having a group solution to the problem is really enjoyable. Um, like everybody's able to find stuff. Hi, baby doll. All right. I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, nerds. See you next time.